Welcome everybody to a new Granny Clan video. And as you can tell, today we're ranking Minecraft discs in a tier list. Here we have all the vanilla Minecraft discs, and I will be ranking them from S to F on this tier list by how much I like them, by kind of the general vibe on how they make me feel playing Minecraft, right? How much I, you know, enjoy getting these discs. Of course, this is an opinionated tier list, so we may disagree. If you disagree, I'm right, so leave a comment on how you're wrong. If you agree with me, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you disagree, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started. Now, some ground rules before I do start. I'm only going to give, listen to about 30 seconds of each disc. I'll skip around in them a little bit just so we can kind of, hear how much they pick up in the middle, towards the end, everything like that. But I think everyone watching this video has a general idea of what the discs are and how they sound. So I'm not going to take too much time listening to them, just about 30 seconds or so before I rank them and kind of give my explanation. Anyway, we're going to start off here, left to right, starting off with disc number 11. So overall, it's just Minecraft sounds. I mean, there's a guy coughing in it. I get it's for lore reasons. I get it's for the story, but as a disc, which by the way we're ranking on music ability, I have to put it in F. There's just not much of an argument you can make. Let's move on to 13. A similar disc, slow feel. At least it has music in it, but again, 11 and 13 are kind of hand in hand in the way that they're more, storytellers and for lore reasons than they are for the actual music. So I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm sorry, but it has to join 13 and F tier. Now we'll jump over here to 5. And another disc here that's just Minecraft sounds. Again, I know these first 3 discs are for the lore reasons, for the story. I'm not gonna waste too much time on these 3. These are all F tier discs. There's really no debate. I think that when you think of the discs in the game, these ones are just a tier below everything else. Just because they're not really music, they're storytellers. But I can respect that their purpose, but we're ranking music. So let's move on here to our first real disc, blocks. I love the way it builds up. Has a slow build up to it, but it really does get to this upbeat, really nice disc. Again, I'm going to jump around a little bit and just listen to, small portions. But it really does stay true to, its identity all the way throughout. Of course, it's a longer disc. It has a little bit of a slower conclusion, but still a really nice disc. I don't think it gets to the top of, S or A tier, but it's just a middle of the pack good disc. And to be fair, all of these discs are really good, so it's hard to put them, low. But I think when I'm looking at these discs, blocks just gives me a very, good starting point. So I'm going to be putting in B tier. Now let's jump to cat. Now, Cat and 13 are your two easiest discs to get in the game, and since 13 is 13, Cat is a very common disc that a lot of people really like because it's one of the discs that you get early on that's actual music. And just a really nice vibe to it. I'll jump around. Definitely builds up to this, right? Like, this is definitely a step up, but it has the calm, but still has nice energy to it. I definitely had really nice early game disc to get. I just don't find it to be the same as Blocks. I really just don't. I just see it as a little bit of a step down. So I'm going to put it in C tier. Let's go to Chirp. Now Chirp starts quick. You know, he gets right into it. A lot of these discs will have a small build up, but Chirp really starts really good right away. And before I really give much commentary, a little spoiler alert, Chirp was one of my favorite discs, one of the OGs back when I played 8 years ago. If you asked me to make this tier list, 8-10 years ago, this would have been an easy S tier on its own. Nothing else would have been up there. And don't get me wrong, still a really good disc, but I just can't bring myself to put it back to the S tier with some of the new ones that are out here. And honestly, I feel like it's regressed a little bit. It just doesn't bring the same vibe as it used to. But I still have to respect it for what it is. Chirp is going into A tier easily. Now let's move on to Creator, our first real music disc that's kind of a newer addition to the game. And this is one of the discs you get from the new trial chambers. And I definitely wanted to wait. It has a super duper nice start to it. It has the slow melody to start, but then it really builds up to this very high energy, and the instruments that Lena Raine brings are really, really good at making a really nice sounding disc. And I'll just let it speak for itself. Like, this is a rare disc. It's tough to get, but it's really one of the discs that I really go out and seek. I'll jump a little bit. Right here. This is what really does it for me. That part right there has got to be the best 5 seconds in a music disc that Minecraft has. And just that part over there really puts it over the hump. I have to put it in S tier. Lena Raine's music is so good. I can't even imagine putting it anywhere else. Let's move on to the music box version of Creator. Again, very similar, but because it's the music box version, it's a lot more died down. It really takes a lot of that energy away. Of course, that one's shorter, but it's just like Creator. But with it being the music box version, I feel like the good parts and the great parts of Creator are that energy. And without that energy, I just can't put it even near what Creator usually is, or even near some of these other discs. It's not an F tier disc. It's still good. It sounds good, but I just can't put it with Cat or Blocks or Chirp. I have to put it in D tier. Now let's move on to Far. And if there's any disc in Minecraft that matches its name, it's this one. I like this music just makes me think far. It makes me think of Journey, long distances being covered. I think the name Far really describes the music. I'll jump a little bit. Again, this is another one that's really going to stay true to its identity. It does get this upbeat end to it. Really good disc. Again, I just don't see it rivaling Chirp or Blocks. I definitely feel like it's around the Cat level. So that's where I'm going to put it, right here with C tier. And I will move on to Lava Chicken.
Love was
Oh my.
until Pizza Hut.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, I'm Peter.
Yeah, get out of here, Peter. So, Lava Chicken, I feel very mixed on because I love these upbeat discs, but just knowing the lyrics and the movie and the villager feature, I just can't. Like, it's just like, don't get me wrong, it sounds good, but I just find it cringe and hard to listen to. And I do want to get the villager part. Like, I just can't, especially for how rare it is, I just don't find it to be a good disc. Again, not an F tier disc, but I can't take it upon myself to put it any higher than D tier. So I'm just gonna stop thinking about it. I'm gonna move on to the next one here, Mall. A nice slow disc, but it has a really nice melody. Again, I'm gonna just jump around to save time. This is another one that, again, just stays true to its identity, how it starts. Again, it gets that little bit of an upbeat at the end there. Really nice disc, calm disc, but like, these energetic discs are really what does it for me, that really puts it over the top. The calm discs are calm discs, that's just what they are. So I can't take it upon myself to put it, you know, with the S tiers, with the A tiers. For me, it definitely gives me more of the, B to C tier. Uh, I feel like it's closer to Blocks level than it would be, Cat and Fars. So I'll put it in B tier. Again, a really nice disc, and I really like the energy that comes at the end, but I just can't put it with Chirp and Creator. Let's move on to Mellow High. So this disc is definitely a different approach being taken, for sure. A little unique compared to the other ones. Again, I won't listen for too long. Mellow High is a good disc. Again, I don't think any of the discs are bad, but just the way that the music and the instruments are set up, I just find it to be choppy compared to really how smooth all of these discs are, which really forces me to, again, put it in D tier. I just don't see it being the same level as Cat and Far or anything above it. So I'm going to put it in D tier. Let's go to the other side. And trust me, this disc will speak for itself. Again, a really nice, upbeat, high energy disc that I really like. When this disc came out, it was definitely my favorite. Now that, you know, it's been in the game a little bit, I don't think I have a favorite really. Like, the S tier discs are all S tier. They're all really good to me. I don't think I can put one over the other. But other side, with its energy and its upbeatness, I have to put it in the S tier. And you'll find a little bit of a pattern, not to give a spoiler alert here, but Lena Raine's music and the disc that she has created, I find to be really, really good. So again, I don't want to spoil Pigstep a little bit, but if Lena Raine is the creator, there's a chance that it's going to end up high. But let's still give Pigstep a chance. Again, another disc that really brings the energy into it. You know, this is a disc that you go out of your way to seek out for. Like, when I go to Bastions, obviously I'm looking for the Netherite upgrade, but this is what I'm looking for as well too, and I will explore them until I get Pigstep. It's just a really good disc, and all of Lena Raine's music discs that she makes are all really good. So this one is going to join the others up in S tier. Now let's go to Precipice. And the start kind of just reminds me of Christmas in a way. It gives them a nice feeling. And you find that energy again. Really nice disc. This one's also from the Trial Chambers. So, you know, when you're going for those creator discs, this one's always a nice one to get as well too. And I'll jump to the middle here. But again, it keeps its identity, definitely adds some new tracks into it, and that energy and that, you know, upbeatness is what I like. So I don't think it's as good as, you know, Lena Raine's, you know, like gallery and what she's done, but I definitely have to put it close. So I'm going to be putting it in A tier. And now let's go to the Trail disc, Relic. And I really like how it comes down there at the beginning and comes back up. And I'll jump here again. Obviously the middle brings some of that energy back. End is going to keep it but slow it down a little bit. A disc I do like, don't get me wrong. And I do like the beginning, how it comes down and comes back up. I just can't, you know, put it with the top tiers or even Blocks and Mall for that. Like, it just is a little bit, it just doesn't click with me. And I could definitely see how it could click with people. Like, I can understand how this could be people's S tiers and their A tiers, but for me, it just doesn't quite match what some of the other things and what some of these other discs do. So I'm going to be putting it with Cat and Far in the C tier. Now let's go to Stall. Again, this one's another, you know, unique approach to a disc. Let's jump to the middle. It definitely keeps its identity all the way through. You know, it doesn't get all that different. Actually, it really just pretty much stays the same the way through. Again, a good disc. Um, and it's always nice to have. I just, again, not something that I think I'm going out of my way for it to go and get. Um, you know, obviously glad to have it, but it just doesn't do some of the things that some of the top things do. So I think it's a pretty good, you know, middle of the pack disc. I think I'll put it in C tier. And by the way, I'm not ranking these throughout the tiers. They're just, you know, the tier. They're all the same to me. I don't want, you know, I'm not ranking them inside their tiers, but just kind of putting them in categories. But let's move on to Strat here. And a very tropical and, you know, ocean theme beginning that I really like. And this is one of the few discs that really like spark my imagination and really like give me good ideas on things to build. Like I can imagine building a tropical island with, you know, this disc being played around the edges of the beaches. Again, it's a really unique disc in a way that it's slow, but still somehow brings the upbeatness and the energy that I really like. It really finds that good match between fast and slow and calm, but also fun. So I have to put it very high up. It's a disc I really, really like. I'm not putting it in the S tier, but I definitely believe it belongs around Chirp. So I'm going to be putting it in the A tier. Now over here we have tiers. Tiers, before I made this, I actually didn't even know was in the game. I see it was added recently, and it's actually achieved in a really cool way. It's by hitting a fireball back at a ghast and killing it. So a really cool way to get a disc. Now, I haven't really listened to it. I did listen to a little bit of a sneak peek just to get an idea of what it was, because when I saw this tier list, I didn't even think it was a real disc. But I did do some research. It is a real disc. So let's give it a listen and see how we like it. Again, this is a new creator. It looks like his name is Moss Roddy. Really unique approach. And really interesting beat drop. It's something you don't hear in these Minecraft discs, but it sounds really, really good. And you can hardly tell it's a remix of these ghast noises. It's a really nice music, really nice disc. I'll jump. Again, it really does stay true to its identity. It sounds like, I guess the best way to describe it is hype. Like it's a really good disc. The only thing that pulls me out a little bit is it doesn't, it's not Minecraft to me. It doesn't sound Minecrafty. It sounds like, you know, like actual music, and it's good, but it's just not Minecraft to me. So it does feel a little out of place, but I still think it's really good. So I'm going to be putting it in B tier. Let's go to weight. Again, another slow tempo disc, but one that I actually really do like. And when it switches up right there, it still keeps, again, similar with Strad, where it has that slow tempo, but you can still feel the upbeat. You can still feel the energy, and I really like that about Weight. It's not Strad, right? I think Strad is a step above, but I think it's better than, you know, definitely above average to me. So I think B tier is where it belongs. I think that's a good spot for it. Um, I think it matches with Maul and with Blocks. But here we are on our last disc. Let's give a listen to Ward. And I don't like the beginning of Ward. It's staticky right there. It just reminds me of those story building gifts and the lore reason discs. It just is a little out of place. Once it gets past that, though, the music is nice and it's good. I just don't feel like it's as good as some of the other discs. So I can't find myself to really put it with you know the chirps or the strats or the blocks and the weights and those kind of things. I do think it's a step up from Mellow High, from Lava Chicken, from Music Box, but definitely a step down from B tier. So I think it sits comfortably in C tier here. So I'll stop this disc. So here is my final tier list. Again, Lena Raine, her music is really good. I love it. I can't choose one as a favorite, but I think she definitely deserves to be in the S tier. Chirp and Strata, two that I really do like as well, too, that I think definitely belong here. This B and C tier, really could be interchangeable very much. I just find these four to be a step over these five. Obviously, the D tier are just ones that, for their own reasons, I don't like as much. Again, I know that this is creator and this is also creator, but what really makes this one so good is the energy that it brings, and it just takes that energy away in Music Box here that in a way that I just don't love it. I like the disc, I don't love it. Same with Lava Chicken, like it again, it has that energy, which is what has, been a big factor in how I rank these discs. But just from the movie and the villager section, I just find it to be cringe overall, so I can't put it too high. And Mellow High just has some choppiness to it that I don't like. And of course, the F tier discs. Again, I understand their purpose, right? They're not meant to be music. They're meant to build the story of Minecraft a little bit. But we're just ranking purely off of music, and musically wise, they belong in F tier. I don't really see any conversation about it. But here's my final tier list. Again, if you agree with me, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And leave a comment on why I'm right and you're wrong, because I am correct. And if you disagree with me, it means that there are some opinions that you have to reweigh. But other than that, I think that's going to be the end of the video. I appreciate everybody for staying tuned and keeping an eye out. And if we get 5 likes on this video, I will be dropping Terraria Infernum boss tier list. So make sure you guys like this video. And if we get to 5 likes, that will be the next video coming out soon. But I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day, and I thank you all for tuning in. Granny Clan out.